Josh here, welcome to Frames Per Second. Today we are shooting the Hasselblad X-Pan, which I've borrowed for a week. Today we are shooting Kodak 500T, which will get done ECN-2 by B2 Lab. And because it's such a cinematic aspect ratio, we're doing widescreen, I just thought we should shoot some cinematic film. So we're shooting some motion picture film. Going to the city behind me, we're gonna have some fun with that, so let's go. So we're back here with the X-Pan. All this was shot back in 2021, but I shot as much as I could when I had it, so we do still have a few more videos to go. And yeah, this was kind of like a wild thing, these people running across the bridge, which was, I was not fast enough to catch the real action, but I got the end of it. Now the X-Pan isn't exactly something you want to do portrait shots with, but I just thought I'd do one just to see if it was interesting. So I thought I'd use this bit of road, so you got like a long part of the road. And yeah, we're shooting Kodak 500T, so this is tungsten balance, so with the golden hour, not too bad, but yeah, it does make things look a bit bluer because it is trying to balance out for the yellow of tungsten light, and so it does come off a bit different. Now this shot I forgot to focus. Sometimes when you're doing street, you just go for the composition and forget to adjust other elements of it, which I was silly enough to do. Now I think I was metering this at 400, not 500, just to get a touch more shadow detail, but some of these shots did end up a bit more overexposed than I was hoping that they would, so I did do some highlight detail. This 500T, it was actually processed in ECN-2, which meant the film I was using had the remjet layer on, and so you don't get that weird halation that you would with Cinestill, which is a benefit, but it is more expensive to get done. And so just be aware of that. There are a few places in Melbourne that do ECN-2, unfortunately not in Brisbane. But if you want to try, get your hands on some developing kits for it, feel free to develop at home if that's something that you do. I just don't have the time, space, or money for that, so I sent it to B2 Scan or B2 Darkroom in Melbourne. They're both the same place, but one's just the store, one's the lab. But yeah, this shot's a bit overexposed, and you can kind of offset this by using color balancing filters, but sometimes you just want that vibe, or you just want to see how it would look, and usually there's enough leeway that you can adjust things in the grade to make them look a bit more normal if you want to. This shot actually turned out pretty good, but yeah, you can see the differences in the colors. There's a bit more of a blue to it. Sorry to bother you guys. I really love your outfits. I was wondering if I could take a photo of you. Okay? And 3, 2, 1. Now these people were nice enough to let me take a portrait of them. Not really something for widescreen shots like this, but I just like their outfits, so I just wanted to show them anyway. There's definitely ways you could make this a bit more cinematic, I just didn't. Because the camera I was borrowing only had the 45mm lens, which is pretty wide. If I was to own my own X-Pan, I would prefer the 90mm lens, because you do have to get super close, and they were already strangers I was taking a photo of. I didn't want to make them more uncomfortable by getting super close just to get a better kind of shot for the widescreen. And part of that was because we were pretty deep into COVID in 2021 when I shot this. So yeah, wanted to keep distance to an extent. Now, some of these shots, honestly, not that interesting. I definitely could have found a few more cinematic things, but like I said, I would have preferred the 90mm to get the kind of shots I wanted, and so it was a bit trickier doing it with the 45, even though it's a great lens and there's definitely things I would use it for. Wasn't particularly ideal for the type of street I was wanting to do. And then this day, honestly, didn't have a lot of foot traffic going on in the areas I ended up visiting, but I kind of just wanted to take photos in these areas just to get an idea of how the lighting would turn out if I was to shoot 500T here another time. Unfortunately, because the lens is only f4, you do have to use slower shutter speeds, and that does stop some of your shots from looking sharp if you do have less than steady hands, which I'm not particularly the steadiest person in the world, so my hands did make some shots look a bit shaky. This shot actually turned alright. 500 is a great film. There's a lot of latitude, and if you're shooting in tungsten environments, it's great. But if you want the kind of bluey, sinister vibe, it's wonderful for that too. And when you get film developed in ECN-2, it does give you a bit of a flatter profile because it is made to be graded in post. So if you made it to the end of this video, you're one of the real ones, and I appreciate your viewership. Film's getting more expensive, prices are going up for development and the cost of the roll of film as well. Yeah, it's not really something that's feasible when you're making a YouTube channel that you don't get paid for. But if you want to help out a little bit, I have created a Ko-fi account. So if you don't know what Ko-fi is, it's ko-fi, and it is a place where you can tip creators such as myself. Now, in Australia, roughly the cost of a roll of film plus development is around $50. And so the tip, which will be in Australian dollars, is just $10. Now this isn't something you have to do. I will keep creating videos, I just will be doing it every 3 or 4 weeks. But if you would like to help out because you like my content, you can go to ko-fi.com/FramesPerSecond 77, just like the YouTube channel name. And yeah, feel free to tip $10, you can tip multiple times if you want. But at the end of the day, I just appreciate you for watching anyway. Every view counts and matters. And to the 140 of you that do watch regularly, I really appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I will keep doing these videos. I like doing it, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about film photography and just like putting stuff out there for people to learn from and use. But if you do want to support me with a $10 tip, that's ko-fi.com/FramesPerSecond 77, just like the YouTube channel name. Hope you liked the video, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on the film, the images, and the camera in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe. There's post notifications when there's a new episode anyway. I'm Josh, this has been Frames Per Second. Hope you're enjoying the X-Band content. Just get out there, shoot some film.